Hi and welcome to episode 70 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This is Reportage and This is Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. Excited to be joined by the fab Elke Van Rulo today. Recently ranked 5th in Belgium on This Reportage Family for 2020 with 4 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award, and having already picked up 2 more Family Story Awards in our first collection of 2021. Elke shares so many great tips and insights into documentary family photography today, including the importance of talking when it comes to building trust and rapport, why she started to study photography when she did, her move to America and then back again, day in the life sessions, the value of having her own family photographed, our Netflix synopsis game, photographing her friend's child's birth, and much more. Hey, Elke, how are you doing?
Hey, Alan. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. All good. How's things with you? 'Cause you're over in Belgium, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Well, the sun is shining this morning, so
Whenever I
actually.
talk to people on the podcast, it's always sunny where they are. It's never sunny where I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it makes all the difference, right? With the sun out. I
It
feel like
does.
spring is finally here.
Oh man, well I don't feel like that at all. It's quite cold. We've had the heating on this morning in Cornwall in England. Yeah, not
I'm
the best.
sorry.
It's not your fault. I won't hold you to blame.
I guess to be patient a little longer.
Yes, that's true. I am looking forward to that. I mean, the recent lockdown has been tougher, I think, as well, and it's been just darker and colder. How have you found it? How's things with you at the moment in Belgium? Because it's the 23rd of March when we're recording.
Yes, so we're 1 year in now, and unfortunately, it's not looking good at all. So I feel like we're back to, where we started almost.
Really?
Yeah, numbers are going up again. Vaccination is not rolling out as smoothly as they hoped for. So we're so dependent on vaccines coming in, right, from abroad. So, yeah. But other than that, personally, I'm in a much better place. So that's good.
Oh, are you? Oh, that's good. Tell. Was it hard for you in 2020? You know, how was it for you then?
Well, I mean, on a personal level, it's my dad's birthday today, and I just had this reminder popping up, or how do you say that? Like a memory or
Oh
something.
yeah.
And he's been really sick. He was diagnosed with cancer in early January 2020.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but he's all good now, so it's unbelievable.
That's
Yeah,
great.
what a year can do. But yeah, 1 year ago he was at the hospital. He wasn't allowed to see anyone. Yeah, it was horrible.
I can't imagine how tough that, even in normal circumstances, how awful that is, and then through the pandemic with it as well. Oh, Elke, it's awful. Good to hear that is in a better place at the moment, though. Then
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
that's cool. That's good. And how was 2020 for you on the kind of a business level? Were you able to shoot much at all?
I was hoping, because I started out in 2018, so I feel like a newbie, honestly.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you're so good, and you've only just started, really. Tell you, yeah, it's been a few years. That's really cool.
Yeah, we've been abroad for almost 6 years, so I had a long grow curve. I had a lot of time to figure out what I liked and didn't like, and I was hoping for 2020 to be my confirmation for myself, to feel and be an actual, wedding photographer. But then all these weddings got canceled. So that was a bummer. Luckily, I was able to do a few still. So, and they were pretty intimate and beautiful, actually.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I only did one small COVID wedding, and it was lovely to capture. But yeah, I only did one full wedding in 2020 as well. Were you able to do much family work in 2020?
Some of it, but a lot of I had a lot of grandchildren sessions planned for last year, and obviously they all got postponed. I did a few day in the lives, but not too many. So yeah, basically all you could do, the months you were allowed to, were outdoors, one-on-one, and yeah, children sessions. So
Right, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, good to have shot a little bit then, I guess. Well, oh man, it's just got to be so. I've got to be more hopeful for this year, but I guess we just don't know, do we? We just don't know. But let's go to a positive thing because I wanted to say congratulations, as you were ranked fifth in Belgium on the Reportage Family in 2020 with 4 individual awards and a story award, which was fab. And you've since won 2 more family story awards in our first collection of 2021 as well, which is awesome. Was that fun to find out that you'd made, the top 100 list and like fifth in Belgium?
Yeah, I still can't believe it, really. Yeah, that was one of the things that I really enjoyed last year, to finally be bold and enter,
Yeah, I get
this is
that.
Reportage Family Awards. And yeah, it's a good thing to, yeah, to be part of this community. So thank you for doing this. And your podcasts have been a real lifesaver, that
Oh, that's cool.
radio station. So,
Oh, that's cool. You've been listening. That's cool. That's good. And now you're on it. Are you gonna listen to your own episode?
I don't think so.
No, you've got to. You've got to. Oh no, but that's. I mean, you did so well with all those awards. That's so cool. And so, I mean, it's a big question. It's a big question. I can't even think of it, but what would be your tips? How, if there are people listening who kind of, they want to improve their documentary family work and win awards like that. What's your kind of advice for doing well at that? That's a big question. Sorry, isn't it?
It is a very big question. But I feel what helped me a lot was, well, the problem I first had, looking back, I studied photography just after hours, while I was pregnant, with my first daughter. We have 2 daughters. The oldest one is 12 by now. So 12 years ago, I was like, oh, having a panic, like I'll never have as much spare time, like time to myself as I have now. I need to start studying photography if I want to end up being a creative in some way, because I studied communications. But that photography study was like 3 years, weekends, evenings, and it was focused mainly on the craft, more than the artistic part part of it.
Okay.
Where
was this in Belgium when you were studying?
Yeah, this was in Belgium still, and it was. It made you do, like, you had lots of exercises and practice, so that was good. But still in Belgium, I had some access to a lot of people, around, like friends and family I could practice on. But moving abroad, I didn't have that access anymore. I had to reinvent my whole life, my whole family life.
Okay. And was it to America you went to? Was it?
Yes. Okay. We were in Chicago, so the Midwest, for 1.5 years, and after that we moved to New Jersey, the East Coast.
Oh, cool.
But of course, you have to reinvent yourself, and then photography-wise, you're in another country, another continent, a different culture. So access was something I struggled with. I got a bit bored and stuck with my photography because I went for what I thought was the thing to go with my craft, But and this is, I guess, my answer to your question is, I feel like I found talking is what gets you the access to people. So I've always been a very camera aware, a very person aware person. So talking makes people feel I don't know, drop their guard. And
That's so true,
it's
isn't
my
it?
way of getting access to them and letting them know it's all good. Yeah, whatever they do is okay. And if you find that way for them to open up to you, you create this trust, this mutual trust, because you need. I mean, they hired you for a reason, so they trust you already. Um, and that's what I mean. If you have that mutual trust, then you get to a place where your craft comes in, and you can surprise them in a way, I guess. Um,
That's
um,
cool.
by doing what you do, and if you work hard, um, yeah, the reportage becomes you, and that's what they signed up for. So
Yeah, definitely true. I was going to ask you about that as well, and then you've answered it for me. So I already had down here because the quote from the lasting impact piece which you wrote for us, and yeah, and I was going to ask you about that, but I want to quote you anyway because it was great. And you said, yeah, since then I learned to embrace my undesired characteristics, the oftentimes annoying camera and people awareness, and put them to good use, which I think is great. I knew my clients would not drop their guard before they would feel I belonged with them in their space. I think you write really well, and really, so it's great. I was going to ask you about that anyway, and you've just spoken about it, which is really cool.
okay.
Thank you for writing that piece for us, by the way. I think it's always so interesting to hear, what kind of specific images or certain times in people's lives have had an impact on their career. And you spoke about then about when you were pregnant and you decided to study photography. What was it? Why photography specifically? You mentioned about wanting to do something creative, but had you always had that interest in photography?
Well, I never considered it. I never considered it as a study. So I studied communications, and I went for public relations, and I was a bit hesitant. I wanted to go into journalism, but I really liked the idea of studying how to communicate to different groups of people.
Right.
And yeah, at that point, that fascinated me a little bit more, I guess. But I've always loved. I had this very romantic idea of being a journalist and writing your stories, but then when I was in photography school, one of my teachers was a photojournalist,
Okay.
and me with a baby one on the way, and planning to have a family and start a new family. I saw the very unromantic side of that job, with him getting a call at 9 p.m. For his morning appointments. So I was like, no, that's not the way to go.
That's not for me. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And so did you know you were going to go into kind of weddings and families, and which came first for you, by the way, shooting weddings or families?
Well, if you're taking those courses, like a lot of people, through word of mouth, ask you for a wedding or for. My friend asked me to photograph her birth, which was
Oh, wow.
like a whole new world opening up to me. But then, like I said,
Gosh.
I moved not too late after that. So I lost that access of people.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's a big deal to lose that, really, isn't it? An
Yeah,
uproot to a different country. Man, why
it is.
why did you go to America?
I followed my husband.
Ah, that's cool.
He went there for his job. So
Well, that's a good reason. That's a good reason to go to.
yeah.
And is it much different? The photography scenes in America compared to Belgium. I guess did you actually do much kind of like family work while you were in America and wedding work, or was it more when you came back to Belgium?
So I feel like it was all very like fresh to me. So I felt very, I was relying much on my craft, which I mean, to the safe side of it. I didn't want to, stick out my neck. And I feel like the community we ended up in was very much like they wanted a lot of like holiday cards and like classic family portraiture.
Okay.
But I feel like I did some workshops there. I traveled with a photographer twice, Ernesto Bazan. And through those workshops, I felt like less stuck and more inspired again. And he pointed out in a very beautiful way how to open up for what moves me, So
That's cool.
So that's something I learned there over the years, and then practiced on my two daughters, and and then somehow that those workshops gave me the courage to make my portrait sessions in the US more playful, the family sessions, and less static. I was able to do some very first day in the live sessions there.
Cool.
Mainly, go ahead.
I was going to say, how did you get your first kind of day in the live session? Because I think it's something that a lot of photographers would like to do more of, but they're not sure how to get really.
Yeah, I thought a long time about why I value them so much, and I focused on the expat community there, because for them, I mean, for everyone, time is such a precious thing. But I feel like when you're living an expat life, you know, at least I felt like there's always this clock going tick tock, because you'll only be in a place for like a few years. So it was very interesting for them to commit to these sessions, to be able to show their family abroad, what their life looked like in this season, in this place of the world. So, that's worked for me. Yeah.
Cool. And how do you do many day in the life sessions in Belgium now, or before the pandemic? Before the pandemic, it's hard to do them now, isn't it?
Yeah, true. I mean, it's not like my main work, but
yeah,
I've always, I wish to do them more, but
it's tricky. You've also, we're all, I guess, in a position where we need to show potential clients like the value in it, and that's one of the reasons of starting Reportage Family, just to raise the prominence of it and just to show people, look, this is what you can have done. It's an amazing thing. It's real. It's your family. It's not sitting in front of a white screen and posing for the camera. This is what really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Have you had someone come in and photograph your family in the kind of day?
I was going to tell you, if you look at yourself, I waited a long time to have a photographer come over and do this, because, honestly, I didn't even decide this myself. My husband did it last year for my birthday. So,
cool. Was it a total surprise?
Yeah, no. I knew it in advance, because he was very aware of my camera and people awareness issues. So, but Joshua Dons came.
Cool.
Came to our house, and then obviously you learn a ton from a photographer coming in, and
well, it must have been, weren't you kind of watching her the whole time, but trying to forget she's there as well, but then having that kind of professional interest as well? It would have been quite tricky, I think.
Yeah, but I knew her from, like, I had I took a long coaching session with her, like like a mentor. I think for 6 months she was my mentor when we first got back from the US. So I knew her a little bit, but still it felt very different. Having come to the house.
I bet. What was that experience like? being photographed with it? Was it just a normal day in your life then, and just you didn't you didn't go out and do something special? Or some people think you need to do that, don't they? But the whole point is to do something kind of just normal, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. We made sure. We live near a very beautiful lake here, like a pond, big pond here
Oh,
behind
nice.
the house, and so we made sure to include that. We have we call them our sanity walks. So,
That's
so
important.
we had one of those, and yeah, we spent time with the kids. It was really hot as well, so we did some water play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's great. I bet it's awesome to have those images now. That must be very cool.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, just talking to you just makes me want to go out and do that more for other people.
I agree. Yes, I know.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Anyway, Anyway, let's going positive again. Not going to go back down that Corona rabbit hole. Let's change tack slightly, Alka. Let's change tack. Do you watch much Netflix or Prime or anything?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not good with titles, and I know where this is going.
Yeah.
So let's get it over with.
Okay, let's get it over with. Awesome. So yeah, if anyone's listening, I just for the most recent episodes, just thought it'd be fun just to do this little Netflix kind of game. And so I'm just going to read a little synopsis of either a movie or a series, and we'll see if you can get it from the synopsis. So, okay, you ready for your first one, Elke?
I'm very ready.
Okay. Two young lovers are torn apart by war and class differences in the 1940s in this adaptation of Nicholas Sparks's best-selling novel.
Torn apart by war
and class differences in the 1940s. It's a movie. It's got Ryan Gosling in.
Oh. Is it like with the beautiful, gorgeous house he will renovate? No.
Yes, I think it is that. I saw it a long time ago, so I can't really remember, but I think it is.
Beautiful movie. And then she chooses for someone else, and then, I don't know the title.
That was it, though. So it's The Notebook.
Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good, isn't it? I haven't seen that in years, but I like Ryan Gosling. Have you seen Drive?
No, but I've seen him in La La Land.
Oh yeah, I love that. Although I don't like the ending. The ending pains me. It pains me, the ending. But I love that film.
It's a gorgeous movie. Yeah, I was sitting by myself in the theater with three old ladies. So I was sitting in the theater, an empty theater, like it was like an 11 a.m. showing in the US. And these three old ladies come in, and they were funny, like they were cute, but they sit like right in front of me.
in a virtual empty cinema, they sit right in front of you.
They took their seats, but it was funny. I feel like I watched it with them because all their comments. They were,
oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
To one another. No, it was funny. But
there's something very cool about going to the cinema in kind of like the daytime when it's really empty, isn't it? I used to do that quite often at university. It's cool.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, that's what I did in the US when the kids were at school. Sometimes I would go see one of those movies. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I remember doing that at university. They sometimes had tea and coffee as well at like these like 11 a.m. viewings, which was cool back then. That was the only time to get tea and coffee in the cinema was to watch.
Very interesting. Yeah.
I know. That's funny. Okay, well, you got that one. That's good. So that's a good start. That's good. So let's go on to another one. Okay, this one is a lot more recent as a clue. Okay, it's a movie again. So what was supposed to be a peaceful protest turned into a violent clash with the police. What followed was one of the most notorious trials in history.
Oof.
Yeah, this is I think it's been Oscar nominated for this recent
yeah.
But
now I feel old and not into in the cinema anymore.
But I've not seen this either, actually. But yeah, so it's quite random. But okay, it's the trial of the Chicago 7. Oh, it's Chicago in it. Where you?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard of it.
No. Okay. Yeah, I need to watch it as well. I haven't. It's got like Sacha Baron Cohen in from
Oh, really? Okay.
Anyway, okay, that's still 50-50 so far. It's still pretty good. Still pretty good. So, are you ready for a final one? And this is an old film. Okay, it's quite
Mhm.
old. Okay, meddlesome Beverly Hills High School student Cher gets more than she bargained for when she gives a fashion challenge student a makeover.
Oof. No
That's a
way.
tricky one. No, sorry. There, you had tricky ones. That's just you had tricky ones,
What?
LK.
Don't blame me. It's your fault.
I know. Yeah, it's totally my fault. It's totally my fault. That was Clueless. Clueless. So that's like is that like early 90s film? Have you heard of that, Clueless?
Well, don't ask me.
No. Oh, that's really funny. Well, you did pretty well. You did pretty well. Better than some. Better than some. So that's
Okay.
all
Well,
good.
we're done now, right?
Yeah, we're done now. We're done now with that. We can, you can breathe.
All
Yeah, we
right.
met.
Let's change tack, Ellen. Let's.
Okay, let's change tack again. Let's change tack. And you mentioned how your friend very early on then asked you to photograph her child's birth.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like? That's a big ask, isn't it? I mean, it's a huge honor. It must have been pretty scary.
No, it wasn't at all.
Oh,
Like
cool,
I was
cool.
never scared. Well, honestly, I was nervous about missing it because I missed the birth of her first child because she came so fast. Like they didn't anticipate. So I took half a day off, and I was there like 2 hours after she was born with
Right.
the first child. But then the second one, she yeah, it was very beautiful. I was in time, but it was only like half an hour before she came.
Wow. What?
So, but it was very intense, very, very beautiful experience.
I, I can imagine it was beautiful, but I can't imagine. I would love to do it. I would love to capture that for someone, but it must have been so emotional. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just,
yeah, true. But yeah,
I just can't imagine. I think I would be
part of
just,
life.
yeah. Oh, totally. And it's an amazing thing to photograph, and so many people don't have that captured, as well. And it's a beautiful thing that you're able to give them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you done more since then? More birth photography?
Oh, I'm actually looking in, but then now obviously isn't the right time. But
Mm.
um, I'm actually after I wrote that piece for the blog you asked,
Oh yeah, the lasting impact. Yeah.
I actually was thinking about I really enjoyed that reportage. Maybe I should contact a birth house or an
Mhm.
organization that yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, very true. You have to be very kind of able to get away
True.
you do, don't you? And
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I guess that would be quite tricky, but so rewarding to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
very cool. I just don't know if I could do it, just because even with my own children when they were born, it sounds weird talking about, but I am a bit squeamish, so I don't know if I could actually do it. I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, I'm not good with kind of, you know, I'm just not good with that kind of thing, I think.
With awkward moments, maybe, or
Well, just with the physicality of it, kind of.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
maybe because you're a man. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm just kind of, I don't know, just a bit strange. I should have been able to watch my own children, but I couldn't. I was there in the room, but I stayed just at the top end with my
Yeah,
iPad. Yeah.
that's what my husband did too.
Yeah. I wish I could have got and photographed it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't. And then they asked if I wanted to, cut the umbilical cord. And I couldn't do that as well. I was like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, my husband, same thing. It was funny. Oh.
But and I also felt, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I just felt so useless, as a man, and to see my wife go
Yes.
through stuff. It's a horrible feeling.
I can imagine that. Like you're just a bystander as a husband, Like
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, totally useless. I didn't enjoy that. The whole pregnancy, I felt just awful the whole time. I'm just constantly worried and nervous about her and the child as well. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about pregnancy and things. It's funny. It's funny. Elke,
My husband oh, I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
you go on. No, you go on. Yeah.
Yeah, my husband was very much alike, I feel like. He was very similar. And then when we got back home, he has like the biggest sigh of relief when the baby latched,
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
because he was so tense all the time. It's like, okay, we got this. She got this. She's got this.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's good that other people, yeah, similar that way then. It's just, yeah, I think disguise in general just feels so useless. And we see this amazing thing happening before our eyes. And we just want everything to go okay, but we can't do anything really. So it's very
Well, you got your whole life to make up for it, Alan.
yes, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I'm doing my best. I do my best. Okay, Elke, let's go back onto photography wise as well, rather than me
Yes.
talking about pregnancy. What do you find the most challenging aspect of family photography or wedding photography? Because you do both. What do you find the most difficult aspect of it to be?
Well, I guess it's what I love most too, which is, getting into tune with them, and letting them know
Yeah.
as fast as I can to that everything is okay and all they do is all good. And
How do you do that? I mean, do you like for family shoots, do you have like a pre-shoot questionnaire and where you're getting to know them more, or do you do that mainly just, on the morning of the shoot and just kind of talking with them and making them feel relaxed?
yeah, talking. Well, I have a sense of, I know like everyone's name and their ages, so I know what games would be appropriate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly the shoot itself, because it's only one person you're communicating with beforehand. So um, I talk a lot and I ask them questions and not from a list, but if you show genuine interest, they tend to open up, right away.
That's so true. And as you say there, that genuine interest, isn't it? That's what's so important, I think, not just having a set list of questions that you ask everyone else and they'll see through that. But yeah, with genuine questions, they see that you're just a nice person and interested in them as people. And it must make people feel more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's the most, that's the main thing. If you want to be like a documentary family or wedding photographer, your main interest should be the people, the people you'll get in front of your lens. And I've always loved that, like the way people communicate, the way they show love in so many different ways and such subtle gestures. And
cool.
So that's the main thing, to make them feel at ease and drop their guard.
No, I totally agree. It is so vital, so vital. I remember how my wife just didn't feel at ease with our wedding photographer. I wasn't doing photography back then. I've been married a long time, like 13 years now, and she didn't feel at ease at all in his presence, and it really shows, in the images as well, how she looks just on edge, really, a lot of the time.
Okay. That's such a pity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? It is a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, so important. But do you get, have you always found that quite easy then communicating with other people? And, I just, you have, yeah.
I feel, I've always felt although I feel after we've been abroad for almost 6 years, I have a different mindset though. So I've always been very interested in people and getting to know people, but I've always been a very loyal friend too. And I feel I'm still a loyal friend, to my long-term friends, but I also feel I'm much more open to whatever comes my way, or whoever, more importantly, comes my way and crosses my path. And
and is that from moving away to a different country? And
I feel like with so many moves, with small children, you always have to put effort into and be very aware of how you plan on reintegrating,
that's true.
or integrating in someplace new.
That's so true.
I've always been, and I feel like I'm doing the same things in my photography now. So how do you make new friends, abroad? To me, um, one of the important things was observe people, like look at how they greet their kids after a day of school, at the gate, or um, or how do they talk about their partner, or just, all kinds of notice all kinds of clues of people. And that sounds very freaky, maybe.
No, I'm nodding away back here. I know you can't see me, but it totally makes sense. Yeah, totally makes
But
sense.
that was always my way of finding out who interests me, and then maybe befriend them. And I feel like those same cues or keys, maybe I just made up a word, I don't know.
No, cues is good. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, are the cues I use now in my photography to show them how they love their kids, but they will know probably, but or to show the kids at a later state, or phase, how they were loved back then, by their parents.
That's very cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I love that. It's really interesting hearing about that, and watching people and just having such an integral interest in other people, as you say, is so important to do this job as well.
Exactly.
And it reminds me of how just I like reality TV. And a lot of people say it's trash and real lowbrow, but I don't care. I love kind of Big Brother and Love Island and stuff because I just love watching natural people naturally reacting. To me, it's so much more interesting than scripted programs. It really is. So
okay, no, I don't like.
Do you not? No, I love it. I love it.
It makes me cringe. I don't know. It makes me, feel awkward.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. So I love it.
I need my camera, to be like a valid presence, Right. I don't know, to have that front row seat, because it's so, like, they're so vulnerable, and I feel like the camera is my reason not to feel awkward in that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I understand that. Oh, very cool. So you're not watching Love Island? No, we're watching. No, you don't want. Okay. You're missing out, Elke. You're missing out. So good.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, I think everyone else is going to be disappointed in me that I watch Love Island, but I love it. It's so good. Cool. Let's change tack again slightly. Elke, someone messaged me the other day and said that I should have a T-shirt that says that because I say that phrase.
I know. It always makes me chuckle. That's the way I said it.
Okay, it's funny. Okay, Elke, if you have 24 hours totally to yourself to do whatever you wished and money is no object, what would you do?
I feel like I would sleep in first.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And then have my kids and my husband wake me up, and then spend the morning together, have a slow morning at the house. And then have our families over for a really good lunch, that we didn't need to put much effort in ourselves.
That's always good. Yeah.
And then
what kind of food? What's your favorite food?
That's a very tricky question. In this moment, I would say Thai.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Maybe half an hour from now, I would say sushi. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, go for a nice walk with the families. And then later on, have all our friends, come over as well, and just add people to the core invitees. I don't know. And just end the night with a big backyard party.
Oh, it sounds good.
something like that.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds a great day. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could give that to you. That sounds a great day. Oh, as you say, just having people around and being able to just socialize easily. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I never thought it'd be at a time ever where we'd be talking about that as a wish list thing. You know, we've taken it for granted all our lives. That's something we can just do. It's
Yeah.
so strange. So strange. Anyway, sorry, gone back down. COVID thing. Let's disappear from that again. Okay. Elke, let's talk about business in a little way because I've not talked that much about business. So in terms of marketing specifically, you know, getting yourself out there, you know, what's been some of the most effective things for you? You know, have you done much effort in or money in SEO, or do you do more social media or kind of word of mouth? What's been good for you?
Well, it's not my big it's not my main talent, and something I hate, but I try to be a bit present on Facebook
Okay.
for the families. That's worked a lot, and I feel like the things I show and the things people share, like through word of mouth, I get other families inquire. But it's also been a very frustrating thing to do. Like a year ago, I quit Instagram, and I realize now that's a very dumb thing to do as a wedding photographer, because no couples are on Facebook anymore, you know, young couples. So I want to pick that up again, but then maybe, or most certainly, using one of those planning programs.
Oh yes, yeah, I can really
With, like one day in a week, and then just schedule it, you know.
I use Later, which is really good for the Reportage family. But also Facebook now inbuilt with your Facebook page, if you can just link it to an Instagram account, you can schedule through that for free as well. So
Yeah, I have to look into that. One of my friends told me.
why did you quit Instagram a year ago then?
I feel like and I feel the same about Facebook. It's costing me so much time and energy. Like it was just draining my energy. But I feel like, yeah, working with one of these schedulers might, you know, be efficient. And
Yes, I think that is a really handy way of doing it. So I do like a weekly schedule often when I remember, like, when I remember to do it as well. But yeah.
yeah.
That's true. Did you, you know, the business side in general then, is, you said it's not really your, you know, main skill. Is it, do you not really enjoy that kind of side of what we do? You're, you know, far more about the shooting.
Yeah, I do enjoy though, like reaching out to past clients and keeping them, you know, in the loop.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
In what way? Like past wedding clients and then maybe
yeah,
doing family work for them as well? And
yeah, exactly. And that's like the most rewarding thing I feel, if people come back uh, for you later on in, you know, a different phase of life.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
that is
that's a very rewarding part of the job.
I wonder, the child that you photographed the birth of, was it his or her? Was it a boy or
Her,
girl? Her. I wonder if maybe in like 20 years you might photograph her wedding. You know, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
who knows? Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool to do that. So I've done, obviously, yeah, I've done weddings, and then I've shot their family. But to make it another element of life by shooting like a birth or their child's wedding in the future would be very cool to be able
Yeah,
to do that.
absolutely. Yeah.
You never know. Never know. Possible. Might happen. Might happen. On a practical question that I don't often ask, but I should probably ask a bit more because sometimes people are interested about this, and it is quite interesting. Do you have, you know, a favorite kind of lens or focal length for your family work that you shoot most at?
Yeah, mostly I would say 75% would be my 35
Oh,
mil.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your reason for that?
Yeah, to draw in the emotion. Yeah.
Mm,
To be close, and I feel like I see the world, yeah, with my 35, and I know without thinking where I should put my feet, and
that's
then
good.
start thinking about framing, you know. And then I use my 85 um, um, for the other 25%, I would say. Oh,
Okay.
this is day in the life. This is not portrait sessions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you create your whole series, it's just to create the variety and sometimes for myself as well to just think differently for an hour or so and
That's true.
with the 85. Yeah,
Mm.
that's can
I think
be.
that's really cool. Yep, 35, 85, and I'm similar-ish with 25 and 85 as my kind of two lenses. I really only shoot with those two lenses. Very kind of lo-fi, really. But yeah,
Oh, wow, 25. Cool.
yes, I've always loved that. So it started with the 24 mil, and I shoot about 85%, and now on the Sony's on 25 mil. But love it. Yeah, I love it. But you're close with the 35 mil as well. And have you? Were you always quite happy being like physically close to your clients? Were you ever nervous about doing that or
No,
not?
not really, since I put so much effort in the talking and being present and them
Mhm.
dropping their guard and yeah, building the confidence and the trust. Um, and I feel like I almost need to be that close to feel their own trust in me, what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, definitely. Mm.
Yeah, so that's not never really been an issue. No.
That's cool. No, no, very cool. Very cool. Do you get nervous at all, before your family shoots or weddings or anything?
Yes, but it's not in a way anymore that I feel like it freezes my brain.
Hmm.
So it's more like in a positive way, to get focused and yeah, to get out of the car and ring the doorbell and get into the talking. Yeah, that part. But
That's
as soon
cool.
as I enter the door, I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I like the way you said it. The positive part of nerves. I wish I could think that they were positive in any way. I don't see the positive side. I really don't. But I'm like you. Once I start, it goes. Once I start.
What helped me was it took me a while to get to a phase where I felt that okay, if I trust what I do and I do what I need to do, I will be able to deliver a decent series of photos um
That's a good mindset.
and if you think that way, like the nerves will turn positive, I guess.
No, I think honestly, yeah, I think that's great, Elke. That's a really, really good way of looking at it, and I should think about it more like that. Definitely. Yeah, I don't know if people have heard. I do talk about nerves quite a lot. I'm not a nervous wreck. People might think when I'm not on the podcast, I'm like shaking at home in a corner or something. But I'm not. I'm really not. It's quite an interesting subject. That's all. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Elke, I like this question. I don't know if you'll like it, but let's see. Have you ever made any really memorable mistakes at all? That's probably good. And nothing comes straight to your mind instantly. So that's good. You're not doing anything proper massive, I think. That sounds good.
Well, I mean, especially since I'm talking so much with my families and my couples. I mean, you can obviously say wrong, like things wrong,
Mm.
but I mean, then it becomes an advantage as well because they realize, okay, I mean, there's no wrong subjects. I mean, you can, I don't know, Alan. But I feel I once had I was like, wow, this can go so horribly wrong, and it didn't. I asked someone because I think it was one of the first times I entered an American house that wasn't the house I was living in, and and I asked them they were asking how do you see the U.S. and I was thinking, well, yeah, from the movies, the houses, you can, when you move, you can just take your house, you can just put it, half of it on a trailer and the second half on another trailer and just, move to another state or whatever. And then I asked and I was like, no, I'm like, so can can you do this with this house? Would you be able to take this house too? and like the husband looked at me and he goes, he chuckles, and then she goes like, well, how would she know? It's a valid question for a European person. And I'm like, okay, like she's gonna be my friend, like I mean, it's cool. You can just talk whatever, but you're also exposing yourself and your own thoughts and if you're true. Being vulnerable, I mean, it becomes an advantage to make mistakes,
That's a good way of looking at it as well. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Because I mean, that's something we do in the podcast is that, and obviously I get nervous before each one. It's like, I guess a part of that is that what am I going to say? Part of that. But
yeah.
And it is a kind of a funny thing that maybe I just have to forget that people are kind of listening, really. But that's only one part of my nerves. The biggest part of the nerves for the podcast is that I just want to do a good job for the person that I'm, talking to, and I want you to enjoy it and feel like you've it's been a good thing, So anyway,
it shows, Alan. It shows. Although I can't see you, but
no, thank you. I know it's funny doing it. I find it. Audio only. I prefer doing it audio only as well because I just feel like I can just concentrate on the words more rather than if I see a little video of myself or the other person. It's more distracting.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I was happy to hear it would be audio only.
Yeah, it's a bit less scary.
It's like using a telephone.
Yes, that's true. Remember that, a telephone? Yeah, in the old days. That's funny. Yeah. Do you remember? Did you ever have those? When you had to put your finger in and move the dial around. Do you remember?
Yeah, those? I was at this museum a couple of weeks ago with my girls, and it was about a comic book artist.
Oh, cool!
Like the residency of the artist, and it was a really unique way of moving around, especially now with COVID. They have all these color marks on the floor, of course.
Oh, yeah.
To keep people to make sure families wouldn't mingle. But they also had like the first room we entered was they all had different old school telephones in a different color, and that would be your color for the rest of the tour. So, so my youngest one, the 10-year-old, was. Because the tour guide was explaining how to use these. And she was like, oh, so this is a horn, like, Mommy, this is what you call it. And I realized, oh, yeah. Now you just have your mobile phone. They don't have to use the old school telephones.
No, that's true, isn't it? Wow, that's weird to think of talking about phones in a museum. That makes me feel old. That does make me feel old.
Yeah. And it was just a side note because the museum was nothing about telephones, it was just, but it was, for them, it was this, interesting object, going around the museum with us.
Oh man, that does make me feel old. I can still remember my phone number from when I was like 8, a long time ago.
Yes. So many other numbers too, though, with all my friends and.
Oh, do you remember other ones? Yeah.
Yeah, and now you don't know a single number by heart.
That is true. I even have to look at my own phone for my own phone number sometimes. I don't remember it. So
I know because I told my kids to, memorize it. So I felt like I had to memorize mine myself.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, that's good. Yeah, making your kids memorize your phone number. That's a good tip. I should do that with mine. Good.
Yeah.
Good tip. Elke, this has been so much fun talking to you. We're gonna do this last question now because been almost an hour. Are you ready for your last one?
Ooh.
Oh, it's so much fun. This is fun. Okay. If someone was just thinking of starting out as a documentary family photographer or wedding photographer, because you do both, what advice would you give to them? Ignoring that there was a pandemic, really. So yeah, not pandemic specific advice, but just if someone would want to start out in our industry, what would be your kind of top tip?
Well, find yourself first. Find out what speaks to you, because, and maybe before that, even learn your craft, so you don't think about it, and you can just put it to use the way you need to use it in the situation you find yourself in. But after that, find out what draws you in and what speaks to you, what kind of moments, and like a good mentor is someone who can really help you with that and
That's cool.
Help you make progress and finding your own voice. I feel like that's key.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. All great.
Invest in education,
Did you think, was that a big deal for you? Did you see, you said you had Joshua Dont as your mentor?
Yeah. And I did some sessions with Philip Spiggers as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I mean, we're very blessed in Belgium with so many good documentary wedding and family photography.
You really are. What is it about Belgium? What is in your water that like makes this incredible talent? It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we're very lucky that way. So you have to embrace, the experience around you and make sure you grow using it. So
I think that's very cool. All great bits of advice there, Elke. Awesome. Oh, it's been so much fun talking to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Oh, it's been really fun, really fun. And it's so just lovely hearing other people's voices and just like your viewpoint and everything and your experiences. Thank you for being so open and sharing and great bits of advice as well. And I've really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah. It was.
Don't sound so sure. You don't sound so sure.
Less confronting than I thought it would be. So.
Oh, that's good. Good. Yes. Good. It is. It's a strange thing to be doing, isn't it? Talking to someone for the very first time, like over the internet, and knowing that hundreds of people are going to be listening to it. But it's fun as well. It's fun. Yeah,
it's fun, and it's it's sort of a game too, right? So it's
it is
action reaction.
Yeah, all good. And you were so good, Elke. You were great. You've got to listen to your episode back. You've got to listen.
I don't think so.
Oh, Matt, thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you do a good job cutting and
oh, no, I won't need to do anything. I hopefully get to meet you one day. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool, actually.
Yeah. When the world is back to a different place.
Yeah, exactly. And conferences aren't fully online anymore, right?
Yeah. Because one of the very best things about conferences is just networking, meeting in the flesh, isn't it? Other photographers. It's a big deal.
That's what I truly miss now. To talk to my screen all day.
Yeah. It's true. And now I've stopped homeschooling. Now the kids are back. It's quite sad and lonely here as well. So yeah. But anyway, fingers crossed. This year's gonna be better.
Yeah, I hope spring comes for you soon.
Thank you. Yeah, send it. Blow it our way. Just a bit west a bit. Never eat shredded wheat. Yes, west. I'm west of you. Yeah.
Will do.
Thanks so much, Elke, and you keep well.
All right. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 70th episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. It was a real pleasure chatting to Elke. Hope you enjoyed listening. Head to thisisreportagefamily.com or thisisreportage.com for a link through to Elke's website and a link to the lasting impact piece she wrote for the This Reportage Family blog that we talk about on the episode. We have lots more episodes of the podcast available where we speak to wedding and family photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Dan Morris, Olivier Bolt, Sanna de Block, Fabio Marula, Jill Striefland, Alex Kuss, Katrin Kuhlenberg, Tyler Worken, and many more too. If you're not yet a member of This Reportage or This Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, Invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.